All right. Welcome, everybody. So excited to spend some time in community with each and every one of you today. We would love to know if you would put in the chat, let us know where you are in your journey tonight. So put a one in the chat if you have done our program in the past, a two in the chat if you are currently in one of our programs, and then put a three in the chat if you're just here because you're curious and you are wanting to know more about all the hype and the things that are going on. Put them in the chat. We can't wait to see. We got a lot of ones and twos. We love it. Keep those coming in. That is awesome. Love it. Well, tonight is going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be so great to hear all the hype and all the updates and the things that have been going on with our incredible program. And we are here to answer your questions. So if you have questions throughout the night, we do want this to be interactive. So pop those into the chat. We would love to hear from you. And I have an incredible co-host. My name is Meg Johnson. I've been coaching for 9 years, which is wild. And I'm hosting tonight with my very own health coach, who is Dee. Dee, welcome.
All right, thanks, Meg. Well, hey, you guys. My name is Dee. I know many of you, and some I don't. So, welcome to our call. Um, I have been coaching for 15 years, so I am very familiar with our program and the evolution of our company, and honestly, have never been more grounded and excited about who we are now as Trivily and what we're going to be able to share with you tonight. And as Meg said, like we're going to have some slides because we know a lot of people learn in different ways, visuals, but this is really for you. So if you have questions, comments, pop them in the chat. We've got a couple moderators that will respond and we'll do whatever we can verbally. If we need us to stop and back up, we will. We are recording this just for the benefit for some people that let us know that they couldn't attend live, but they wanted to learn about what you guys are going to be learning about.
Awesome. Thank you, Dee. So tonight we plan to share with you not just the new name change, which Dee said perfectly, Trilivy. And we've been playing games as a coaching team. We like to always have fun, but we've been playing games as a coaching team on how to say it and say it in different ways, like say it mad and say it sarcastic and say it fun. So that's been a ton of fun learning how to say this new word. But yeah, we are wanting to share with you tonight a little bit more about why we have a new name and who we are now, what the hype is all about. There's been a lot of hype, which we are really excited to share with you. And then, of course, what makes us different. So we've got a three-phased approach we're going to share with you and cannot wait to share some of the scientific things that have been going on behind the scenes. But without further ado, we are going to share some slides with you just so we can all be seeing the same things. But do pop your questions into the chat as you have them. So yes, Trilivy. We are all getting used to saying it. We love this logo. It is so fresh and so new. And people have been asking, okay, what does Trilivy mean? Well, it was inspired by the word trilogy. And if you've been around for any length of time, you've probably heard that word, trilogy. Um, but it means three. And healthy body, healthy mind, healthy finances. But also there's three parts of the word Trilivy, which is great. So not just inspired by trilogy, but also vita, which means life, and via, which means way. So that's what it means. It is a three-phase approach that empowers ownership of optimal health. And if I've learned anything after losing 50 pounds with our incredible program, it is that you have to have ownership of your journey, of your path. We all know health can't be bought, right? We can't just you can't get it from a friend, right? You have to own it. You have to make that decision for yourself that like you want something different. And so that's one of the things we love that makes us so different is we teach people how to have that agency and how to, as a part of the transformational process that we go through. So that's really important to us. So let's talk about the evolution. Any great company will evolve over time, and our company has been around for a long time. I'm pretty sure longer than I've even been alive, which is pretty stinking incredible if you ask me. So we started really in hospitals. We have a great scientific heritage. We worked with hospitals and doctors. We were created by a doctor, which is incredible. And it started as Medifast, which was really focused on what you eat, and it was a diet, right? We all know about that four-letter word, right? We hear it a lot. Well, then we had this first evolution into Optavia, and that was not, we went away from weight loss, or we went away from the diet culture and really into weight loss. We wanted to uh, really focus on the habits, like habits of, okay, how do we not just get healthy, but how do we stay that way? And now you've seen, we've had an incredible shift in the landscape in health and wellness over the last couple of years. And that's something we are constantly paying attention to. And so now we're really transforming to the total body, right? We want a total body transformation and we want to focus on the whole you. So you'll hear a lot about metabolic dysfunction tonight, which is something that 90% of Americans struggle with. They don't, most of them don't even know that they struggle with it, but this metabolic dysfunction is very, very real and something that's also reversible. So that's exciting, but we're just, I love when companies evolve, when they aren't comfortable with the status quo and they want to be the best. And that's who we are. We are a company that is always about excellence and evolving. And Dee, I know you've got some things to share with us.
Yes, I do. There are really three components to our program: healthy body, healthy mind, healthy finances, because we really believe that in order for somebody to be truly healthy, we need congruency and alignment in all of those areas. But tonight we really are going to focus primarily on the healthy body piece of it. And of course, healthy mind goes into it because all of the thoughts, the habits, the thinking patterns, and actions and decisions you've made have all led you to where your health is right now. And we know in order to evolve, part of that evolvement and that transformation is a shift in our thinking, our decisions, our habits, our patterns. So that is part of who we are and what we help guide our clients to. But what we're doing is moving so far beyond weight loss. So weight loss has been around forever, right? As a multi-billion-dollar industry, lots of different ways to lose weight. But the question is, are you really creating health? And what we've learned, because science advances, technology advances, medications advance, health advances, is that we've learned is that weight is really just a symptom of what is going on inside your body. So Meg threw out the term metabolic dysfunction, and that what that basically means is how your body is processing the energy that you're putting into it. Is it processing and functioning and everything working in harmony, or are things out of alignment where your body is perhaps storing fat, perhaps elevating your blood pressure, elevating your cholesterol, creating brain fog, fatigue, etc. And what we've learned is that the root of the problem is the way our metabolism is functioning. And that is where our company dove into more research. Because we knew through just words and responses from people like, hey, my blood pressure went down, this went down, but we needed the clinical data. We are a New York Stock Exchange company. We are regulated by the FTC, the FDA, the SEC. Lots of government agencies watch what we do. So we never make a claim that we cannot back up with science. And Meg will geek you out with all of that. So in a whole body transformation, Meg, maybe you can pop that next slide up, is really three phases. It's what we call a reset, where we actually help, and that's where most people start, is a reset to get that body functioning as designed. And then we move into refine. And refine, I love that word because that's where we learn to get better. We learn to get better. So most companies, or even we did it before, would show you a before and after. And it kind of stopped at that after. And if the work wasn't done to continue to learn and grow and evolve and refine our eating habits, our lifestyle habits, that's where people would often oscillate backwards. And that's where that diet loop starts. So we have a clear three-step process now. And Tasha, a friend of mine, is a great example of this is what creating health is about. It is somebody who has fixed her metabolism, gotten lean, and then continued to work on developing muscle and all of her habits so that she can move into what we call ultra health.
And I just love her story. I love these pictures. I think they're a great representation of what is possible. And, I always kind of cringe when I hear people call it an after, because we know we're never really done with a health journey, right? As long as we are living, as we have air in our lungs, we are either getting healthier or we're moving backwards. We're getting less healthy, right? And I don't know about you, but I want to be getting healthier every day. And so the one of the catalysts of this change is how do we partner with people to wherever they are, and there's no shame in wherever you are, but how do we partner with people in taking the next step or the next phase into becoming the healthiest version of themselves. So if you've ever partnered with us in one of our plans, if you'll pop in the chat what your success was on your nutrition plan when you did the plan, we would love to see that come in and just kind of celebrate with you. I know Dee talked about how I am going to geek out on the science, y'all. I
Can I
am
add
such,
one thing, Meg? I
yes,
just want to
please do.
back up for 1 second. So I think exactly like you might be watching this, and we invited our active clients, our inactive clients, guests, and so many of you indicated that you were somewhere. And there might be some place where the wheels came off the bus for
Mm.
you, right? And maybe, all components of the program were not engaged and carried forward. Maybe you stopped talking to your coach. Maybe we didn't fully transition. Maybe you've decided to use one of the other incredible tools out there, like a GLP-1 medication. As Meg said, there is no shame. Like we are all at a new starting point right now. And really, Trilivy is an and. It is an and what are we going to do next? So thanks for having the courage to show up with this and be willing to learn and to grow. And we just want you to know that like we realize there's gaps. We own some of the gaps that we might have been part of in that process, but now more secure than ever in how we can carry somebody forward.
That is so true, Dee. Just like the company evolves, we evolve as humans, right? When I first knew that Dee was coaching, I knew I wanted to get healthy because I needed to lose about 50 pounds. I saw her when I was at the Starbucks drive-through, and I had just ordered my venti frappuccino with the whipped cream and all the things, right? And here's the health coach D coming out of Starbucks, and I slid underneath my steering wheel because I was so mortified. But that version of me, right, has evolved, right, over time. And as we all do, we all evolve. So I love that this community calls each other higher, right? There is no shame. It's just an evolvement. What is the next step? And we are so thankful we have incredible science that really helps us stand apart. We have always had scientific heritage that I really value. And we have a white paper. And anytime I've worked with a doctor over the last 9 years and we talk about our white paper, they're like, oh, white paper. Who knew a white paper was so exciting? But in the medical field, a white paper is the gold standard of medical publications. And so we have had a white paper. Now we have so many more. We have 30 clinical studies now. We have over 100 peer-reviewed publications. And if you're not a geek, let me just tell you the peer-reviewed publications are where it's at. They are really difficult, they are rigorous, and they provide incredible value. And we know this program is great, right? I've lost 45 pounds, which is incredible. Oh, 50 pounds now. Lost track. And I know there's incredible results here in the chat that you're reading. Shout out to Shauna, who lost 87 pounds, which is amazing. But we know the program works. We've seen countless lives absolutely shift for the better. And now we actually have physical proof to be able to show for some of these indicators that are so very important, not just to getting healthy, but really we want to help you not only live longer, but live healthy longer, right? We want to improve your health span, which is super important. So we've got 40 plus years of scientific and clinical heritage that we love, all these publications, which we are certainly very proud of. And nobody's doing this. Nobody cares about science the way that we care about science, which is really exciting. We are also really proud to announce that we have created an Institute for Metabolic Health. And this is just off the cutting room floor. We are so excited about this. And we've been studying the metabolism for a long time, and we are excited about where this Metabolic Health Institute, where it's going to take us going forward, and the data and the details, and how it's going to not just help, you know, I mean, details by themselves aren't helpful, right? Unless they lead to transformation. And what we've seen is that it leads to incredible transformation of people's lives for the better. All right, Dee, I know you've got some things to share with us about our scientific advisory board.
Yes. And so it's not just internal studies or things that we've been doing on our own. We actually partner with experts in the industry and have a scientific advisory board. And it's up on the screen. I won't read each one of them to you, but we have experts in metabolic health, in behavioral science. In the woman on the lower right is head of weight management and obesity at New York University. Lower left, Dr. Arendt is a doctorate in physiology and the importance of muscle and strength training and what that does to our metabolism. So we have experts that are not only contributing to our research, but also helping to evaluate it and also helping us put it into systems that are translatable for the average person, right? Into a system that people can use to improve their health. And I think that is really important because these are people that have been studying this for years. And the fact that they are looking at what we offer and saying, yes, this is the ticket, this is the answer, this is what the population needs and is hungry for.
I love hearing them talk, and just like they're incredibly bright medical minds, and hearing them at work is really inspiring. Well, so we talked about, we don't just have hope that we can get somebody healthy. We have literal proof, which we are so excited about and excited to share, because that proof then gives you permission to hope. Because I don't know about you, but when I was carrying all this extra weight, I had lost that hope. And so knowing that so many people have gone before you and have these results gives us the freedom to hope again, because we have that proof. So one of the things that we love being able to share with people is our clients, when we do the clinical studies, that's the white paper that I was talking about, they saw a 14% reduction in visceral fat. That is such a big deal. Now, the visceral fat, if you haven't heard of that before, it's the fat around your organs. It's the scary fat, right? It's what we don't want to have. So any reduction on that is something that doctors will be so excited about and clap for and celebrate, right? So a 14% reduction in visceral fat is unheard of. It is incredible. The other thing that is unheard of in the health space is a 98% lean mass retention. Now, there's a lot of different ways that people can lose weight, right? Sometimes when they lose weight, they're losing muscle. And so what we love about our program is we protect that muscle. We know you've worked hard for that muscle. We also know that muscle is an important part of keeping your metabolism healthy, right? Muscle does so many things for our bodies. So we love being able to show that we can prove now medically that there's a 98% retention of lean mass. That is like, can't even say what a big deal that is. So we protect all that muscle you've worked hard for, which we love. The other thing that makes us different, that we are obsessed with, I would say obsessed, I think that is the proper word for that. It's the ability to have a coach who can champion you. We truly believe that coaching is absolutely critical. It's not just a nice to have, it's a must have. And I say that as somebody who needs her health coach even to this day, right? And that's because you and me, we're smart. We can talk ourselves out of things, right? So having somebody hold up the mirror, because the best coaches don't talk at you. The best coaches create space for you to be able to think about what you want and craft your own transformation, right? So we are absolutely proud to be able to share with you that somebody that works with a coach, they have 10x the results, 10x, 10 times. So not just one time, not just two times, three times, 10 times the results, which is really incredible. And 17 times more fat loss when they work with a coach. Because You can lose weight and you can lose muscle, and we don't want to do that, right? When we lose weight, we want to lose fat because that's what makes you healthier. And at the end of the day, that's what we're after. So having that coach, if you have a coach right now, I strongly recommend utilize them. They want to help you figure out how to incorporate that into your program. It makes all the difference in the world. Highly recommend. All
Yeah.
right. Oh, go for it, Dee.
Well, I also heard or recently read, it was actually notes. We had a metabolic conference just a couple of weeks ago, but that visceral fat, when we reduce the visceral fat by 14%, it actually leads to a 20% reduction in disease. So it's all correlated into your health. And then muscle, why we're speaking so much of it is that muscle is part of like your endocrine system. It is the like metabolic bank account for your body. So there are studies, different ways people are losing weight that they're radically losing muscle, which is just going to cause a ripple effect of more problems down the road. So that is something that there is nobody else that can claim 98% lean mass retention. And that is something to pay attention to. And that's because our nutrition plan is so solid
Yeah.
in what it does. Do you want to talk about this, Meg, or you want me to take it from here?
Sure. I mean, this is more of the dorky stuff, which I
Yeah.
love.
Mhm.
So this is more of the proof. We've been coaching this program for a long time. So Dee and I, we know that when people get on plan, they have all of these great things that happen to them. But with some of these studies, we now have this proof that we can say, it will improve your liver health. It will improve your joint health. We already knew it was going to reverse and improve your type 2 diabetes. It would reduce your high cholesterol and your triglycerides. We already knew it would help your high blood pressure and bring that down. We see this every day, every day. Whenever we talk to clients, it's so stinking exciting. And then the insulin sensitivity. Like these things, I know that sounds like just words that I'm rattling off, but what I hope you can feel like these things literally change people's lives for the better. I have a close family member that was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. That is scary. And we get to say, hey, we can help absolutely reverse that, which is incredible. The other things that are new that we can say we have proof on, we improve your liver health, your joint health, muscular skeletal health, digestive health, your PCOS, which is now called PMOS, hormonal health, sleep health, mental well-being, quality of life. Y'all, that is huge. Quality of life. That's, for at the end of the day, who here would not say they would love to have an improved quality of life, improved mental well-being, improved sleep health? I mean, one of these indicators would change your life for the better, and we have so many of them, which is really exciting.
And the
And
most important, amazing thing
yeah,
about that is all done, all of that improvement through nutrition and habit change. No medications. No medications. Now, you might be on a medication or been told, hey, you might need medication for this. But what we'll do is have you work with your doctor because generally what happens is the body starts to repair itself, the need for medications is reduced or eliminated, or if that condition hasn't shown up for you, you've actually prevented a future um, health issues. So you're probably wanting to know what's different about the actual program. So let me give you like, I know there are a handful of people that are not familiar with our program, but what we do as far as the nutrition and the habit change is we teach what's called low glycemic eating. So balancing the blood sugar so that that insulin response is in alignment with how it's supposed to be. And we do that by eating every 2 to 3 hours. So constantly fueling that body. But it's important to be eating the right things in the right portions. And since over 74% of people do have excess fat to be lost, we have to do all that in a caloric deficit. So, which is not easy for the average person who is very busy, very stressed, and doesn't have a lot of time to shop, chop, cut, prepare, and all the things. So for somebody during their reset process, there's a couple of different variations of it, but generally they will eat 5 a week, what we call fuelings or Trilivy fuelings, and then one whole foods meal of protein, lean protein, vegetables, etc. So very convenient and very predictable. So if you've been part of the program, you know that the fuelings are awesome. They were already very nutrient dense, high quality protein, all interchangeable. They've got vitamins and minerals, a prebiotic, and they're all meet a clean label. No artificial sweeteners, flavors, colorings, any of that. But what we've added to it, now that alone, it wasn't like there was anything wrong with it. So what we did is we just enhanced what already worked so well to make it work better. So now the fuelings are enhanced with our MetaVantage Reset formulation. And you can think about this as like what it's doing is it's putting everything into your body at the specific time that it needs so that it can function properly. And an analogy might be like if you're going to build a house, you need a lot of supplies for that. You need a lot of things that for it. But there's a process to it and there's a stage when each thing goes together. And that's what we're doing with our MetaVantage technology through all of the nutrition. So what we've added is a clinically studied postbiotic, which is known to help, again, improve gut health, but support a reduced waist circumference, which is the visceral fat that we're talking about. Chromium picolinate, which actually helps with insulin response, helping maintain a healthy insulin function, and then choline, which supports a normal fat metabolism. Now, what's amazing is we didn't expect how much more effective it was going to make our results with this program. And some of the verbal feedback is, and I am actually all myself, coaches on this call across the country, we are all following the program. We're doing our own study in addition to the 12-week study that was done. But I will tell you, I dropped into fat burn quicker. I cannot believe that, for lack of a better word, you hear it all the time, the food noise, the cravings, the hunger, zip, zip. Like, that's powerful when you can feel in control of not feeling like you're starving all the time. And if you are one of the coaches on the call that's doing testing the new fuelings, if you will comment like about the taste, the flavor, et cetera, because they made it all better.
Absolutely. I can't wait to see what those things in the chat come in and say. And I did want to say we did have somebody in the chat who was honest, which we love. It's always great around here, to be honest. And they said, sorry to be cynical. That seems like a lot of promises. And you're right. You're right. It's okay to be cynical. It's absolutely okay. But that's why we are so excited to be sharing this with you because we literally have the proof. We have the white papers, we have the publications, we're about to show you the people that actually live this. And a bunch of us actually just went face to face with these people in the pilot program. And so I would say being cynical is normal, right? I was cynical at first. I was skeptical. Dee told me about this program and I was like, couldn't be for me and not for me, and I wasted 6 months of my life, literally 6 months of my life thinking not for me. But it wasn't until I said, okay, I'm just going to give it a try. So if you are sitting there and you're feeling skeptical, borrow some of our hope or read our proof. That if you might geek out on the science stuff like me. But we would love to introduce you to some of our friends who are living proof of all that is possible. And so would love to talk more. Dee, will you share a little bit about the pilot while I start to
Yeah,
screen share and bring this up?
yeah. So what the company did is they put a pilot together of 33, I think it was 33 individuals, and they followed the protocol with the new fuelings for 12 weeks. Now they worked and they used all the tools of the program. So they had a coach that they spoke to every week. They participated in the community and it embraced it all, the habits of health system, everything. And what I've learned in my experience is that the hardest part about this whole thing, about it not working, is that the only variable is us. That is usually and that's why working with a coach, like Meg said, is so important because we can help work through obstacles, challenges, thinking, if we fall, how do we get back up? But these individuals, this is what was mind blowing. In those 12 weeks, lost an average of 21.6 pounds. They dropped their visceral fat score by 2.4 pounds. And if you've been coaching with us for a while, over the past 6 to 8 months, we have evolved. We don't just use a regular scale anymore that basically measures your weight against gravity. We actually have all of our clients use a metabolic scale so that we can pull back the curtain and look at what does that number actually mean? What's happening in your visceral fat, your lean muscle mass, your metabolic age, and all of that. But all of the participants agreed that shifting their weight around from just around scale weight to what these health indicators are help keep them motivated. And the next screen shows some pictures of these individuals. And everybody's story is a little bit different. But, like the woman on the top lost 21 pounds. Her muscle fat percent dropped by 9.5%. Muscle percentage or fat loss dropped by 9.5%. Muscle improved. Visceral fat down. Metabolic age down. Gentleman on the lower left, check that out. 12 weeks, he lost 57 pounds. And so everybody's story is a little bit different. So the speed at which somebody make these changes happen, it's all going to depend on different variables within your body, where your metabolism and how it's functioning right now. But these are powerful studies. And so far with the coach group, what we're starting to see is it's paralleling this exactly.
Which is really exciting. And the other thing that's exciting for any of you clients out there, your Trilivy products are available to order now. They weren't going to release them until August 10th, and they have 5 that they couldn't wait to go ahead and provide to you. So you'll notice when you go in and log in, so your same username and password on the old company works here, right? So that's great. They had a great process for moving everything over. But you'll notice there are 5 fuelings that you will see out there, that this is kind of what they look like, that you can go ahead and order right now and be able to try them and experience the difference. I saw somebody share the difference in their waist circumference. I mean, we love that. These fuelings also help with your waist circumference. How stinking exciting is that?
Hey,
That's
we got to
amazing.
stop the presses just for a
Yeah.
second. Frank just posted that for clients, there's like 12 or 15 of these now available in the client group for clients. So demand is there and we are ready
Yeah.
for it. So if
I
you're
love it.
thinking about starting or restarting, we can get you set up. No
That's
problem
awesome.
right now. Yeah.
That's awesome. So exciting. That's amazing. So cool. Well, so you might want to know, okay, so why is this so exciting, right? Like, why are y'all talking about this so much? And I think it's because we know that we've got a clinically proven program, right? We can show you the proof. It is proprietary, meaning we're the only ones that have it. We created it. Our scientists actually created this, and we got to meet them a couple of weeks ago, and that was amazing. It is unique and it is exclusive to us. And we are so excited to be able to give it to the world because we truly believe it will help people change their lives for the better, which makes us really happy. And Dee, I know we also have some new tools out there. Do you want to share
Yeah.
those with us?
Yeah, as we're wrapping it up, there are new tools available that put everything that you need as a client, and if you decide to become a coach one day, but everything you need is at your fingertips in this, what we call a client hub. Every resource document, every video to get started. If you're like, how do I do this? It's in here. There's also a phenomenal recipe section, and that you can go in, find your lean and green recipes, plan compliant, and it even has a feature that it can make your shopping list for you. And the next thing is within that, we built what's called the Metabolic Health Navigator. So everything about our program is working with AI. So it's like you have a coach at your fingertips right now. And so of course, your coach you're still going to speak to every week. But if you're thinking, okay, I have the only vegetable I have in my house is broccoli and I have some chicken. What could I do to make it tastes good. And you could plug that in there and it will create a recipe for you. If you're not sure how pickles fit in, it will tell you. If you are like, you know what, I am struggling and I feel like binge eating right at this moment, it can coach you through that. So that is something that the feedback on that, it's just something we never had before. It's been great. So the tips, in addition to the stuff we've always had, which is a private Facebook group, a weekly community call, and local events as well. So we provide everything to equip you for success. With it through the nutrition and the science that we have, through the coaching community, and then through our Habits of Health transformational system.
So good, Dee. So good. Somebody already posted in the chat. They were like, "Well, how do I get started?" And so they teed us up just perfectly because we wanted to make sure everyone knew if you are here, you are probably thinking, okay, just like this person, how do I get started? So reach out to the person who invited you. Whoever invited you here loves you enough that they invited you. They know this is possible for you. You can borrow their belief and their proof until you have your own, which is exciting to think about what might happen in your world in just 30 days from now. I mean, it is wild to think about what is possible. So reach out to the person that invited you. And if you are cynical, share your fears, share your whatever. I certainly had a lot that I shared with my coach, and I borrowed her belief and am a totally different person than I was when I started. So we know what's possible when you choose to believe in yourself. So thank you so much for joining us, for hearing more on what is different, what is changing. We are constantly evolving. We expect to continue to evolve and bring you incredible things and ways to help optimize your life and your health for the things that really matter to you. So let us know if you have any questions, and we hope to see you soon. Have a great night. Bye, y'all.
Thanks so much. Bye.